Hi everyone, so today I'm going to make a bumblebee and show you how to make it and what tools you need. So to start with, I've got some core wool, some yellow merino felt and some black merino felt, and I've also got these off Amazon, which are little centres for flowers which I use for the antennae on the bee, and some tracing paper for the wings, and a black permanent marker, pair of sharp scissors, all my felting tools, so various sizes of needle, and my foam pad and a glue gun. Okay, so we're going to start with the core wool. Let's just pull the camera down so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I usually use medium size needle. I'm just going to get my core wool, depending on how big you want to make your bee. I'll make this one bigger than I would normally, just so that you can see. So I've just rolled it all up and started stabbing it with the medium size needle just to knit it together. Just keep moving it round like that. You might find that you've got little bits of grass and stuff in your wool, because mine comes from the place where they stock it, where they've got it straight from the sheep, so it's got bits of grass and stuff in it. Okay, and then just try and fold it over each end as well, just to try and get sort of an oval shape. It helps me if I've got a picture of a bee that I want to copy as well. But as I've made quite a few of these, I don't need one at the moment. So just keep knitting it together until you get the shape that you want with the core wool. And again, I'm just going to fold over that part. Keep knitting it together until you kind of get your oval shape. So this will be the body of the bee. Okay. And when you think you're happy with that, you can stop. So I'm just going to bring it in a little bit so it's actually more like an egg shape, so it's got a thin end on one side. Okay, I don't know if you can see that properly, but I'm just starting to make it thinner on one end. You might find that you need to use a bigger needle if it's not doing the shape that you want. So the bigger the needle, the further in the core wool will go. It will push it together a bit more than it would with a smaller needle. So there you go, you can see I've made it a bit thinner at the top. So that's the body of the bee. I'm quite happy with that. So I'm going to take a bit more core wool and we're going to start on the head. Same again, just a smaller piece rolled up. Be really, really careful. You can get finger guards if you need them, because I'm always stabbing my fingers. So again, just move it round till you get the shape that you want. So it's all knitted together. Again, I'm using the medium size needle at the moment because that's my preferred one. So, and bend it round at the ends as well once you've done your sausage shape, just to try and make the head shape of the bee. Keep knitting it together. It's just a matter of keep using your needle to make the shape that you want. I would refer to a photograph if you need to again here, just to check. And I either use a photo of a real bee or a felted bee that you'll find online that somebody else has made, just to give you an idea of the pattern that you need and what they look like. Okay, so I'm quite happy with that. So there's the head. Now to fix it on, I'm going to use a bit more core wool. You're just going to put it over the top of the head, just loosely. Bring it all the way around so it's covered with just a little bit of core wool, but you're going to leave it loose at one end because that's how you're going to attach it to the body. So there, if you can see, I've just put it over the head and I've got this bit loose at the bottom, so you can just put it onto the body there. So being really careful again, you might need your finger guards. I'm just going to push the excess, the extra felt core wool onto the body so it attaches itself, turning it round as I go, making sure to still get the head shape and the body shape the same as what they were. Keep going until you're happy with it. Just make sure it's secure enough. If it's not, you can add a bit more core wool, which I'm going to do on the bottom, because I can see it's not got any on that bit. So I'm just going to lay a piece of core wool, a thin piece, and just attach that like this. So making sure to push your needle into the body and the head. Just to make sure the head's secure on there. There we go, nearly done. Just check the overall shape to make sure you're happy with it. So then just check it again. You might need more core wool, depends how you feel, but that's pretty secure. Okay, so you've got your bee's body and the bee's head. Okay, so now we're ready to go for the black and yellow. So you've got merino wool. Merino wool is a long strip of wool, you can see, like that. You'd also get carded wool, which is more knitted together, a bit like the core wool, so it's a bit fluffier, which is what we don't want because we want the bee to be furry. So anything that I'm making that's furry, I use merino wool on the outside. So I'm just going to cut it about an inch, maybe 1.5 inches, about like that. I'm going to start at the end, and I'm using my medium needle again. Again, be careful with your fingers. I'm just going to push it in the middle of the wool you've just cut. Be You can see what I mean there. Look, I'm going in just in the middle, and that creates the fur effect on the bee. So again, I'm going to cut a bit more. Just do a little bit at a time, another inch. So I'm doing the whole of the back end of the bee in yellow, and again I'm just going to push the needle in so it's halfway, so you've got the fluffy effect. Don't worry if it looks too fluffy, because you can always cut it afterwards once you've put all the fur on. You can see it's starting to look furry. I also use the needle just to give it a bit of a fluffing. So, and again with the yellow, and again next to the bits that you've done, just pushing it in till you've covered enough of the back end in yellow. Again, it's up to you how much yellow you use. Okay, so I'm quite happy with that on the back of the bee. So now I'm going to get my black merino wool and do exactly the same. Cut about an inch of the black, put it next to the yellow, and go again in the middle. This time I'm going to go all the way around the edge, like this. Okay. And again with the black, another inch of merino black, going around the edge. Now this is a very fluffy bee, so I'll definitely be cutting it afterwards, but it doesn't matter. So I've gone in the middle again of the black and just creating the line around the yellow piece that you've done before on the end of the bee. Okay, it does look very, very furry, but like I said, don't worry. And I think I need one more black to go all the way around. So again, I'm going in the middle with my needle. You might need to hold it in place with your fingers. Just be really, really careful not to stab your thumb or your finger. Finger guards are a good thing if you've got any. Okay, so we've gone all the way around. So we're just going to continue round with the yellow after we've done the black stripe. Just keep doing black, yellow, like a bumblebee. So you're just going to push it into the middle till it's attached. And then again, cut some more off. Might want to tease it out a little bit, spread it out a little bit if it's too thick. Keep going, so you're laying it down like that and then going in to the middle to push it down. Make sure you're covering all of the bee. Doesn't need any bald patches. Okay. Might need a bit of a fluff. Okay, so that's that yellow done. Now we're going to go back onto the black. Just laying it out again and pushing it in the middle. So we're continuing to put the black round. So you're making stripes. And you're going to keep doing that till you get all the way to the head. Going the same, putting it in the middle. It's a very fluffy bee, but we can give him a trim afterwards. A bit more black. All the way around, still pushing it in the middle of your... Okay, so we're still adding the black. Just making sure I've left no gaps. Oops. Okay, nearly done with the black. Keep fluffing him up. Right, onto the yellow again. You see you've got yellow, black, yellow, black. Now we're back onto the yellow. So same again, cut about an inch of wool. Spread it round and then use your needle to push it in to the middle. And last little bit of yellow on that stripe. Okay, let's give it another fluff. Right, onto the black. Same again. So we're onto the head now. We're doing another row of black next to the yellow. Keep going all the way round till his head's covered in stripes. So we're still working on the black. That's that done. One more bit of black. I think. Tiny bit more. Okay, so we've got black all the way round. Now I'm just going to do yellow on the top. That's because I want the black eyes to be seen when we put the eyes on. So we've got yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow, black. And now his top of his head is going to be yellow. So we're just going to put yellow all the way over the rest of the core wool on the head. Like so. So it's, again, just pushing it down into the middle, holding it gently, being careful with your fingers and the needle. Push that yellow wool in. Give it another fluff. Cut some more. Okay, so our bee is nearly finished with all the fluffy wool. Just a little bit more on there. And one more little bit. Just make sure you've got no white patches so you can't see the core wool. So there we go. So now I'm going to give him a bit of a trim because he's got quite long wool. You can cut it as long or as short as you want, but not too short, otherwise you'll have a bull bee. Just trimming all the excess bits off, all the long bits. when you're happy with it. Just check all the way around. You can stop trimming. Give him a bit of a fluff up. And then we're going to add the wings, the antennae and the eyes. Okay, so we've got our bee. Now we're ready to make the wings. So I've got my tracing paper and my black permanent marker. Just going to draw out a tear shape. Then we're going to put the veins on, which is just like drawing branches of a tree coming out from the middle. So you start from the middle, draw a line up the middle, coming off. Okay, so you've got your wings. Pop the lid on, you're just going to cut those out, making sure they're a similar size to what you want for your bee. Okay, now I've got my wings cut out, my glue gun is on. I'm just going to dab a little bit of glue on the end, lift up some of the fur and just hold that down, being really careful not to burn yourself. Just hold that down a minute, then you can just put the fur over the top. And we'll do the next one. A little bit of glue on the end, lift up the fur and place that down like that. Cover it over with the fur. Okay, so you've got those attached onto your bee. Then we've got the antennae, which are the middles of flowers. I got mine from Amazon and I've just coloured them in black marker. So I have looked for black, but they haven't got any, so I have to make my own black. So they're covered in black marker. I'm just going to fold it in half, pop a tiny bit of hot glue on there. Oops. And find where you want to put it. Just pull the fur apart, stick it down and push the fur over the top so it hides the glue. And there we go. There you have the busy bee. And we're just going to attach the eyes in a minute. Okay, so we've made the wings, stuck them on, and the antennae. I did forget at the beginning of the video to say that I have 2 little black beads as well for the eyes. So they are going to be stuck on with the glue gun, so be really, really careful doing this. Just decide where they're going to go. There's one. And the next one. You might want to move some of the fluff out of the way. You might even want to give it a little bit more of a trim in case you can't see the eyes. There we go. So there is your felted bee. You can make them bigger or smaller, it's up to you. But there you go, he's done. Thanks for watching, bye.